Hello, y'all. It's your girl Age, and it is morning time here. I am back to talk about episode 8 of Love in the Air. This episode today is called It's Not Just Wind, but It's a Typhoon. So, if y'all are ready, let's do it. We have officially switched over to Propyai and Sky's story, and it starts out back at the Drag Race City when Rain and Sky had initially snuck in. So Propyai, who is a regular at Drag City, he's looking over at Sky, the beautiful, beautiful Sky, and he likes what he sees. So Propyai and Sky, they make eye contact, and Propyai is smiling down at Sky. Meanwhile, Sky, since he snuck in, he know that, his friend Rain just got caught. Sky is looking suspicious as hell and is about to get caught too when Propyai sees him. And Sky saves him from the guards at Drag City. So this is the first official time that Propyai and Sky meets. So Propyai pulls Sky aside and is like, let's talk. And you know what? I never really realized how much taller Fort is than Pete. Or should I say Propyai is than Sky. And in this scene, I was just kind of like looking at that. I honestly thought that Pete was taller than Propyai. I don't know why, but apparently not. So Propyai gives Sky the line, outsiders can't leave the race and, you're going to get in trouble. Sky is like, well, what do you want? So Propyai, being the little cunning, bad boy, playboy that he is, he's like, well, what would you like to trade to get out of here? Clearly taking advantage of the situation. In this moment, Propyai wants sex because he sees Sky basically as another cute piece of ass that he can hit and quit. But he is about to be in for a rude awakening. And as beautiful as Propyai is, I just hate that he is being a jerk who just wants sex and is treating people like crap. But, of course, it's going to build character development later, so I'll give it that. But I'm so mad at asshole Propyai right now for this specifically. He puts Sky in a really bad position. And I could definitely see why later on in the show, Sky isn't going to want anything to do with Propyai. So unfortunately, Sky tells Propyai to take whatever you want. Also, do y'all notice at the beginning of the episode, the theme songs changed? Now the song is a more kind of chill song now that the story switched over from Rain and Payu to Sky and Propyai. Y'all notice that? So Propyai got sex in exchange for Propyai getting Sky out of Drag City safely. If I was Sky, to be honest, I would have just said, I'm calling the police and you get no sex. As soon as I was out of the race and couldn't go back to the event, like if the event closed or something, I would have caused a scene and stuff. But I guess here Sky thought, that he was probably never going to see this guy again. So whatever. He was probably like, I'll just add him to the roster, have sex with him, and then I can go on my way and never have to see this guy again. And maybe there's a little bit in there that maybe Sky did want to sleep with Propyai a little bit, but not much, because y'all can't lie. And Sky can't lie either. Propyai is really handsome. But that's besides the point. For the most part, Sky did not want to sleep with Propyai. They do the sideways tingle. And in one instance, you kind of see Sky get on his knees because he's probably about to give Propyai a blowjob. But Propyai stops him and pulls Sky up. I'm not saying there's a little hope for Propyai in this moment. But, not saying like giving BJs are a bad thing. But, he just met this person. Anyway, I'll put this kiss in here because they were kissing a lot. I can't put all of their kisses in this moment because they were just like making out. But let me tell y'all, their sex scene is really hot. And you can indulge in that later. In the story, this is also at the same time in Rain and Payu's story where Payu took Rain home from the race and was scolding Rain like he was Rain's father. Even gave Rain a spanking. Y'all remember that episode? So Propyai and Sky had sex way back then. And damn, I miss Payu and Rain already. Rain was like, he was like a little puppy. Rain was a puppy, but Sky is a phoenix, okay? Here we see Sky, and he's doing his walk of shame away from Propyai's home, thinking about what happened. And there's a flashback of when he's in bed with Propyai, and Propyai kisses him, and it's like, the night is just beginning. That's what Propyai tells Sky. So that's right after they had sex, and Sky clearly, by the expression on his face, does not want to have sex with Propy, but he goes along with Propy because he owes him. That's a real shitty position to be in. And I am horribly angry at Propy for putting Sky in that situation. For putting anybody in that situation. But from Propy's personality, his character, that's what he does. He is a rich little spoiled baby man-child who gets away with a lot of stuff because he has money. And y'all, Sky looks so angry with himself. He says they're all assholes. He must be talking about men. But I'm just playing. Then Sky also says, you're also an asshole, talking about Propy, who probably feels like he did a good service for Sky, getting him out of race. Propy is probably so proud of himself right now. But my baby Sky he's just so sad. Y'all, I feel so bad for Sky. Next, Propy is at work thinking about that night. And damn, Sky must have been on his mind for months. Sky must have that good. But that night, Propy did not get Sky's name or Sky's number. Sky refused to give it to him because clearly Sky didn't want the sex in the first place that night, and he didn't want the sex any night after that. And then Propy was like, oh, you're so cold. Sky did the right thing because imagine later on we're going to see like more of Sky's mental issues. And just imagine that asshole Propy, the asshole that he is at the beginning of this show, calling Sky continuously for a booty call. Now, Sky would have been fed up. So the next scene, yo, look how adorable Propy's little brother is with his braces. I'm not sure how to say his name. Is it like Plurng? I don't mess that up. He is so cute though. He's adorable. And in some ways, he kind of looks. No, never mind. I'll keep that. But Plurg, he is also a hoey ho, just like his older brother. And you can tell from the conversation that they're having. But you know what? Girl or guy, ain't nothing wrong with being a little I support it. But can we just say how just bad of an example Propy is for his younger siblings? In the next scene, we see Sky, and he's lying in his bed frustrated, and he says to himself, shitty things always happen to me. And we see Sky, he's listening to this podcast talking about forgetting, saying you have to work hard and work, and the thoughts will just go away on their own. And yeah, while that may be true, y'all know me. I am not a proponent for work. I'm gonna have to find another way for those memories to disappear. Anyway, it's not about me. So Sky decides to drown himself in work. So 3 months later pass, and I guess we're kind of up on the timeline. And Sky is still working. We see him in the architect rooms with some of his friends from school. And Sky, he's like so busy with like student council project, his regular work, and all that good stuff. Typical school activities, typical college. And then we see Propy, and Propy is still hoeing. But judging from his disinterest and the affection that this random person is giving him, it seems like something else is on Propy's mind. Could it be a certain little man named Sky? And maybe, just maybe, there's a hint, judging from the conversation with his brother earlier. But Propy may just be ready to settle down. Let me tell y'all, Sky, boy, it must be good to have that good... Sky must have that good sex if you have this man thinking about you months. So you got this man want to change his play ways for you. Anyway. And we switch to Sky. He's at the architecture building talking to Please, Sig, and Please brother Som, and some of their other friends in the architecture building. And when Sky brings up Rain to Please, she immediately says, oh, she gotta go. Yo, she and her brother Som are still salty because they also said Som was moody too. They are salty that Rain stole Payu, and guess what? I am proud of Rain. Payu didn't want them. If Payu would have wanted Plee or Som, he would have been plotting on them like he was plotting on Payu wanted Rain. Anyway, as the scenes go on, we know that Propy can't stop thinking of Sky. Sky is running through his mind like a track star. So Propy goes to Payu and Cypher's shop and was like, today is a good day to make a decision. Since he won't get out of my mind, I won't let him escape. And Cypher, you know Cypher, Lord, he's just watching from the outside. Cypher was like, I feel sorry for his prey. Much like he said about Rain whenever Payu was pursuing him. And I know Payu and Papai, they must be like headaches. But I will say they are very determined men, and they actually wouldn't be successful, if they weren't determined. Well, I don't know about Papai, but I think his daddy might have gave him. I don't know. He still had to work to get his position. Anyway, so my boy Sky's at home minding his good, well-earned business, trying to relax a little bit, but he gets a phone call from a random number. Papai tries to hit him with that Mac Daddy shit, all player, but Sky is basically like, who are you? And he hangs up. Then Papai calls again and tells Sky, I'm going to start pursuing you. Be prepared. Like, how Lion King, be prepared. And here Papai also calls himself the Handsome Wind. And I believe that is a play on his name, Papai, because it means something about wind in Thai. I don't know if it's like wind god. Then Papai calls a third time, talking about, I like when you call me an asshole. Because, Sky is being a little bit like mean. Because he's like not being mean. He's just done with them. Like, leave me alone. I don't want you to pursue me. Go away. Then Sky gets another call, fourth call. And he answers it thinking that it's Papai. And he is yelling on the phone like, what the heck? Like, what do you want? Leave me alone. And it turns out that it's Rain. Meanwhile, Papai is over there, all in his office, all in love, probably. In the next scene, we meet Messy Joy. That's not her name, Messy Joy, but she is messy, and her name is Joy. She is the lady in the front office of Sky's dorm who she likes gossiping about everyone in the building, in the dorms, and telling her business to anyone and everyone who will listen to her. I know people like that in real life, just nosy and messy. And here she's talking to Sky, telling about some business or whatever. Anyway, throughout the day, Papai is texting Sky, and that night there's a freshman event, and then when Sky is closing and telling everyone bye, Papai shows up. Yeah, Sky is on Papai's mind all day. He lives in there rent-free. And if he did have rent, Papai would probably pay that rent for him. So Sky sees Papai at the freshman event, and Sky has all this stuff in his hands, and he's trying to sneak away and not be seen by that man, because Sky remember who he is. And then Rain shows up, and he meets Papai, and he's like, oh, hey, Sky, this is Papai. He said that he got you out of the racing venue that night when we snuck in. And it's just so awkward because obviously we know Sky and Papai banged. And of course, Rain doesn't know that. And what Rain also doesn't know is that Papai basically used Rain to get to Sky. As mentioned before, Rain is not the brightest. So Sky, he's trying to leave the situation. He's trying to get home. And he's like, hey, I'm about to go. And Rain was like, oh, you have all this stuff. Like, let me give you a ride home. And then Papai is like, no, I'll give Sky a ride home. He offers. And to make Sky go with him, he whispers to Sky, he was like, Rain doesn't know about us, does he? Kind of implying that if Sky does not go with him, then Papai was going to tell Rain that they had sex. Damn, I don't know how I feel about that. Once again, Papai is taking advantage of Sky. I feel like he's trying to figure out where Sky lives. But let me also tell you, Sky, there are many ways to avoid all of this. First of all, I would have went back into that faculty building and like, hey, I forgot something, and snuck out of another exit. Something else. Or I would have went back in the building and just hid. Or just asked somebody for a ride. Or I would have just went in the building just so Papai can go away and just did his original plan. He was going to take like the public transportation anyway. However, Sky falls into Papai's trap and Papai takes him home. And when they get to the lobby, Sky tells Papai, I don't want to play with you. And Papai, being the arrogant player that he is, was like, how you gonna know if you don't want to play if you never tried? You're not hooked? Then Sky was like, I tried and I don't want it. Oh, he plays so hard. Like, I'll give that to Sky. That was good. And then Papai was like, that's not fair because I'm so hooked onto you. And then Sky said, in more or less words, that's too damn bad. Then they talk about some other stuff. And then Papai, like, he starts talking to his little penis, talking about, oh, it's called Lil Pie. What an asshole. And Sky's like, no. Like, no means no. Leave me alone. Sky is convinced that Propy only wants sex, but then Sky says something that is problematic when he's alone by himself. He tells himself that no one would want a lover like you, clearly talking about himself. He's talking down to himself. That is a no-no, boo-boo. We have to get that self-confidence up real quick. And that's just like deeper issues that we're going to have to deal with Sky and dig deeper into. Also, a side note, don't ever look out your window at night with the lights on in your apartment, especially when you're trying to spy on someone outside your window. They could see clear into your room. And that's just word to the wise. Then we get to Rain, and he is on his knees apologizing to Sky for giving out Sky's number to Propy. And he didn't even ask Sky if he could. Let me tell y'all, I don't need a friend like Rain in this situation. I don't need a friend like Rain in a moment like this. You better not give my number out to no one without telling me first. Or sending me like a text or something like, hey, I'm about to give so-and-so your number. Anyway, so when Sky returns to his dorm, Messy Joy has a large, pretty bouquet of just beautiful sunflowers for Sky. And Sky is like, you sure this is the right person? Apparently, Propy dropped them off at the school desk. And, he doesn't know which room he is in. Or I don't even know if he could get back there. And we can see that Propy's name is on his phone. And guess what he's named as? Psycho. And rightfully so.